Aren't princesses always born beautiful? Why should a princess even feel inadequate in her skin? These are the likely questions that swirl in your mind when you think of Aiko, the Princess of Japan, and what she must have gone through while growing up. In this video, we will talk about her family, the challenges surrounding certain beauty standards in Japan, and what it feels like to be a princess from the emperor's family but not look good. Princess Aiko's background and early life. Princess Aiko was born on the 1st of December, 2001. She is the only daughter of Emperor Naruhito and Empress Masako of Japan. From a young age, she has been in the spotlight as a member of Japan's imperial family. Whether she enjoys this attention is out of the question. She must be well dressed at all times, and guess what? She must maintain a certain facial expression. This is to say, she can't sulk or throw tantrums as a child. And when she grew older, this exhausting routine did not only continue, it got worse. It is a known fact that girls have to go through different levels of growth. And with each level comes different types of changes. You transition from childhood to adolescence, then to adulthood. During these transition stages, she grew rounder and had a plumpy face. And as if that was not enough, her teeth were not aligned. For a girl in a normal household, this is a phase that will pass. However, for Aiko, it was more than that. She became self-aware, and the reports and feedback from the media about her appearance were unflattering. Growing up, Princess Aiko faced considerable levels of social challenges, including reported issues with bullying. Around 2010, it was reported that she missed school due to stress and anxiety. But it wasn't just stress that caused it. Aiko had become a subject of bullying incidents at her elementary school. Typically, these experiences ate away her confidence and made it harder for her to deal with public expectations. The importance of appearance in Japan's imperial family. What does it mean to be ugly? How do you differentiate beauty from ugliness? First, we should agree that Japan differs from the rest of the world. This is true in the sense that whatever beauty standard is accepted as ideal in other countries is not good enough in Japan. Also, members of the imperial family are held to high standards regarding their behavior and appearance. They focus, if not too much, on grace, poise, and traditional beauty. More often than not, this cultural expectation can burden royal women, especially those under a microscope in the media, such as the daughters of the kings and emperors. From time to time, Japanese magazines and media outlets always set up cameras and tripods to cover the royal family. With this lifestyle, one can only imagine the emotional topsy-turvy that Princess Aiko went through all the time. It's one thing to be beautiful and get told all the time, but when you realize you don't measure up in that regard, dressing up for the camera to appear in front of local and international magazines becomes arduous. According to popular Japanese publications like Bunshin Online and Asahi Shimbun, acceptable standards often emphasize a demure, slim body and flawless look. When a public figure like the princess is involved, it's an entirely different ballgame. There is no excuse. They cannot grow chubby or have accidental marks on a visible body part. In a nutshell, public figures are constantly under societal pressure to maintain a perfect image. With Princess Aiko, there has been occasional criticism in the media, as she does not entirely fit these traditional beauty ideals. Media sources like Nikkei Asia report that this attention has placed additional pressure on her, as the public often expects royal women to meet these long-standing ideals. Crushing stereotypes. Princess Aiko made up for what she lacked in physical appearance with other talents. Her individuality and talents show a depth that goes beyond conventional expectations for a member of Japan's royal family. Despite her pressures and public attention, Aiko has consistently demonstrated her intelligence, academic dedication, and unique interests. These qualities are starting to mold the public's understanding of what it means to be a princess. Academically, Aiko is known for her strong performance, especially her passion for literature and history. According to Nikkei Asia, Aiko has excelled at Gakushuin University, where she focused on Japanese literature and classical arts. Her interests in poetry and traditional Japanese culture speak to her intellectual curiosity and deep connection to her heritage. Aiko has written and shared her poetry, a passion she inherited from her parents that aligns with Japan's cultural appreciation for art. During her time at the Gakushuin Primary School, Princess Aiko took an interest in the cello for the orchestral music club. She made sure to gain mastery and has since continued to perform in high school and for family events as an adult. While this is beautiful, it's not a surprise at all. Her father, Emperor Naruhito, is a viola player, while her grandmother was a talented chamber musician. That's not all. Her grandfather, Akihito, was also a cellist in his prime. So, musical talent runs in the family. These pursuits challenge the conventional ideals of royal femininity, which unsettlingly emphasizes appearances and poise conduct over intellectual and artistic pursuits. Aiko's strengths show that grace and dignity in a royal figure can come from intelligence and a sense of individuality, not just physical beauty. Her commitment to her studies and personal growth are to be emulated. She realized early that she might be unable to control her physical appearance. However, that shouldn't stop her from breaking barriers and stereotypes that come with being a girl from a royal family. Princess Aiko gradually reshapes the public's expectations through her intellectual prowess. She presents a modern image of a Japanese princess, a young woman raised in her culture but unafraid to break from traditional inferences. From that chubby girl with crooked teeth and zero self-esteem, she has grown to become her person. People don't see that once ugly girl when her pictures make it online. Instead, they see a beautiful woman who could make a fortune just selling confidence because she now has it in abundance. The struggle for gender equality in the Imperial family. When Princess Aiko was born, the news, like fireworks, sparked a major national debate in Japan. The 1947 Imperial household law states that only males in the Imperial family can inherit the chrysanthemum throne. Since Emperor Naruhito and Empress Masako had only one child, discussions began about whether the law should be changed to allow firstborn daughters to inherit the throne. A 2019 survey by Kyodo News found that almost 82% of the Japanese public supported the idea of a reigning empress. However, with the birth of Prince Hisahito, Emperor Naruhito's nephew, in 2006, the question of succession shifted. Right now, the line of succession is set to pass from Emperor Naruhito to his younger brother, Crown Prince Fumihito, and eventually to Hisahito, reinforcing the male-only succession line. With this development, one can only imagine Princess Aiko's mind. First, she had to deal with her looks, and as if that was not enough torture, she couldn't ascend her father's throne because she was a girl. If you are wondering why this is so, the reason is that Japan's imperial family follows a centuries-old tradition of male preference of primogeniture. In simple terms, only male descendants can inherit the throne. This tradition restricts Princess Aiko's possibility for succession, despite her direct descent from the current Emperor Naruhito. The issue of gender equality in imperial succession has increasingly become a public debate, with many questioning the sustainability of a male-only lineage and clamoring for reforms that would allow female members like Aiko to be eligible for the throne. Polls from sources such as the Japan Times and Kyodo News have indicated that a significant portion of the Japanese people support the idea of a female emperor, especially given the shrinking number of eligible male heirs. Princess Aiko's position as the only child of the Emperor Naruhito and Empress Masako makes her a natural candidate for succession in the eyes of the public. However, traditionalists remain a huge obstacle to this change. They are hell-bent on preserving the male-only line in a bid to uphold cultural continuity. Aiko's gender and perceived non-traditional public image are issues this set of people raises. These conservatives feel that her interests, personality, and the public scrutiny of her appearance are miles away from the idealized image of an imperial figure. So, right now, we could say Princess Aiko has so much on her plate. Not only is her gender a bone of contention, but her beauty is also a big question. That then begs the question, would she have been allowed to become an empress if she had fit into the standard of beauty? Global comparisons and perspectives. Around the world, royal women often face serious criticism not only for their actions and roles, but also for their appearance and behavior. For instance, Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex, faced harsh criticism and intense media pressure over her appearance, background, and relationship choices in the United Kingdom. Similar pressures were seen with Princess Charlene of Monaco, who has received public lash for her appearance and health challenges. Despite living in different cultural settings, these women share a common struggle with rigid expectations of how royalty should look and behave. In Princess Aiko's case, the global audience observes Japan's intense focus on appearance standards within its imperial family. Many people outside Japan are surprised by the narrow beauty standards that Aiko is judged against, especially considering her academic achievements and dedication to tradition. This unfounded analysis has led to a wider conversation about the pressures on royalty worldwide and their challenges while balancing public expectations with personal authenticity. A powerful example of another royal woman who has faced scrutiny is Queen Maxima of the Netherlands. Since joining the Dutch royal family, Queen Maxima has been celebrated and criticized for her Argentinian background and personal style. Love changed the trajectory of her life when she married King Willem-Alexander in 2002. Despite her popularity, heritage, and father's connection to Argentina's political history, her social standing has often been a point of contention. This investigation peaked when she first entered the royal family, as her father had held a ministerial position during Argentina's controversial Dirty War between 1976 and 1983. According to Town & Country, Queen Maxima faced much criticism in the Dutch press and public debates, with some questioning her suitability for a royal position due to her father's history and her cultural background. However, over time, her perseverance, dedication, and warm personality have won over the public, with her work on financial literacy and mental health further enhancing her reputation. In a publication by Hello magazine in the 2021, a line about her said, "She has grown into one of the most beloved royals in the Netherlands." The public's gradual embrace of Queen Maxima provides hope for Princess Aiko's situation. Like Maxima, who has dealt with public skepticism and cultural expectations, Aiko is also going through that phase. Perhaps the people who still gatekeep tradition would have softened up in a few years and just give her a chance. Efforts for females to ascend the throne. Now that Aiko is no longer the plumpy, ugly-faced girl who has grown into a very beautiful woman, can she prepare to become Empress in a few years? Well, not likely. Recently, a cartoonist named Kobayashi argued that well-organized conservative groups lobbying for male-only succession have influenced political inaction. He believes this is partly why they are yet to act on public sentiment favoring Aiko's potential ascension. If Japan does not adapt, the monarchy's future could be at risk due to the limited number of male heirs. He even cited historical precedents where Japan had female emperors before the current laws were formalized in 1889. As time passed, this topic gained traction among younger generations, who used social media to support Kobayashi's views. He has observed increasing interest in rethinking the monarchy. This growing sentiment points to a potential shift in Japan's approach to imperial succession, even though a meaningful political hurdle remains. At this point, one can't help but ask if Japan is evolving or running backward when it comes to gender issues. It's even surprising to know that such talks and debates have happened for a while. In 2005, an expert panel under Prime Minister Koizumi Junichiro recognized that maintaining a stable male succession line was becoming challenging by the day. The panel's report suggested prioritizing direct descent over gender. He proposed that an emperor's firstborn child, regardless of gender, should be next in line. This would have made Princess Aiko, Emperor Naruhito's daughter, the successor. However, shortly after the report's release, the birth of Prince Hisahito in 2006 took the focus again back to male line succession. And guess what? All talks of reforms were shelved. The recent resurgence of support for a female emperor started with figures like scholar Takamori Akinori, who believed that the government and diet had neglected the issue by failing to amend the imperial house law for nearly 2 decades. Takamori warns that without timely legal action, Princess Aiko, who will soon turn 23, could marry and lose her imperial status. Why should marriage change anything? The reason is that there are very few prospective royal males, and marrying a commoner would close the door to her succession prospects. Princess Aiko today. Being a princess from an imperial royal house has its ups and downs. However, we might not be able to tell which is more. For Princess Aiko, one of the things she has to deal with is having her business in public. Like most royals, they can hardly do anything without the media knowing about it. And once the media gets a hold of it, it becomes a source of debate or criticism for the public, who often do not know or care about her struggles. In March of 2024, Princess Aiko attended her graduation ceremony at Gakushun University in Tokyo's Toshima Ward. She celebrated the occasion in a vibrant cherry red kimono paired with a navy blue hakama, a traditional outfit commonly worn at graduation ceremonies in Japan. Looking back at her university experience, Aiko told reporters, "I spent my first 3 years in online classes and my last year on this campus. I was able to spend 4 fulfilling years learning many new things. I am also happy and grateful to have met wonderful teachers and friends." Princess Aiko had her first Imperial garden party shortly after her graduation party. It was hosted by Emperor Naruhito and Empress Masako at Tokyo's Akasaka Imperial Gardens. This event is super important for the Japanese, especially the royal family. This public appearance has a tone of celebration for Aiko since she recently graduated from university. For outsiders, it is just a garden event, but around 1,400 guests were in attendance, including popular figures across various fields. Among them was actor Kinya Kitaoji, whom the emperor commended for his invaluable contributions to the arts. The emperor surprised Kitaoji by reminiscing about a television show he starred in nearly 50 years ago. It was a beautiful moment as the actor was taken back in time to the good old days. Also, former Japan Football Association President Saburo Kawabuchi shared his hopes for Japan's future in soccer. He expressed that the country could one day win the World Cup. At this, the emperor responded optimistically, while Princess Aiko, a soccer fan, was seen grinning from ear to ear. In light of the New Year's Day earthquake in Ishikawa Prefecture, the emperor conveyed his hopes for a smooth recovery to Yoshihiko Zenda, Ishikawa's assembly speaker. Empress Masako also talked about this. She said she hoped life would soon improve for those affected. During the event, Emperor Naruhito and Empress Masako also chatted with artist Tadanori Yoku about their love of animals by showing him a picture of their cat. The event was especially notable for being the first in the Reiwa era without mandatory face masks. It gave a rainbow after flood effect. The pandemic was over and behind them. In retrospect, the garden party was the second such event in the Reiwa era, with the first held last spring, but without the customary food and snacks. Princess Aiko, who will be 23 years old in December 24, started working at the Japanese Red Cross Society in April after she graduated from Gakushun University, where she majored in Japanese language and literature. Although her specific duties at the Red Cross are not fully known, the organization intends to create a comfortable work environment for her. Similarly, Princess Aiko has shared her interest in the Red Cross's mission and activities, which aligns with the Japanese imperial family's historical support for the organization. Empresses in Japan, including Empress Masako, have often held honorary positions within the Red Cross Society. On her first day at the Red Cross headquarters in Tokyo on April 1, 2024, Princess Aiko joined 7 other new employees. When talking about her role in Japan's imperial family, she mentioned the importance of connecting with people, empathizing with those who experience hardships, and sharing the nation's joys and struggles. Instead of following in her father's footsteps by pursuing further studies after her tertiary education, Aiko chose to work directly after she graduated from Gakushun University. The Red Cross Society is strongly connected to the Japanese imperial family, as past female leaders have done their part in the organization. When people in respectable positions get off their high horses to help people in need, it shows their followers that they have their interests at heart and are not too proud to get their hands dirty. The princess will continue fulfilling her royal responsibilities alongside her new role. For her empathy, she has recently shown support for survivors of natural disasters in Japan. She has even visited Red Cross exhibitions to learn about their relief work, such as their efforts after the 1923 Tokyo earthquake. On May 2024, Japan's royal family made its first post on Instagram. The initial post featured a photo of Emperor Naruhito, Empress Masako, and their daughter, Princess Aiko. Within just a day, the account attracted over 574,000 followers and shared 19 more posts showing formal images of the family at recent events. The carefully selected pictures showed a polished glimpse into the royal family's activities, including interactions with world leaders, hosting ceremonies, and visiting a bonsai exhibition at the Tokyo Metropolitan Art Museum. Princess Aiko shares the account with her parents rather than having a social media presence. You might wonder why having a social media account took her this long. The reason is because they have enough poking from the public without a social media presence. You can imagine Princess Aiko having an Instagram account when she was fat or had crooked teeth. Her self-esteem would have been shredded to pieces. This is why some people shy away from putting their photos and videos online. While social media has a lot of advantages in that it helps you connect with your friends and the outside world, there are also many disadvantages resulting from its use. This new social media venture shows that the royal family is embracing modernity. More than that, they allow the public to see them and what they represent from a closer angle. However, while they are stepping into modern times, they are taking it slow. For instance, they decided to turn the comments off. It is common among prominent families to limit people, especially internet trolls, from having too many opinions. According to Mr. Hughes at the Australian National University, it stops any brand damage from those platforming their causes, hijacking of comments and diluting the content and harming the brand. Furthermore, he said, they may yet change it, but I wouldn't expect that as that would open a can of worms, and they have very much seen what happens from overseas examples with other royal families. Certainly, while the Japanese royals might be making their online first post 15 years after the British Windsors, the commotion over a photoshopped image of the Princess of Wales and her family in recent months is not something to be envied. After all, this is a royal family whose chrysanthemum throne rule and a long-existing lineage. Theirs is a royal house that cannot afford to be tainted. Plans for the future. In her statement during a press conference, Princess Aiko expressed that with her parents' encouragement and guidance, she desires to gain new skills and take on responsibilities with maturity. When asked about her views on marriage, she described an ideal partnership as one where two people bring joy to each other's lives. To buttress her point, she used her parents as an example. Then, when they sought to know about her plans, she said, "For me, marriage still seems far in the future, and I haven't thought of it. I have no particular thought of my ideal partner, but being with somebody and we can make each other smile seems perfect." Dressed in a dazzling pastel yellow suit and pearl necklace, Aiko avoided comments about her cousin who got married not long ago. She knew it was a trap to say things about her relationship that would make headlines. Instead, she described being raised peacefully. She gave unusual glimpses of palace life, including jogging around the grounds with her father, and when she and her parents tried to sit together on a surfboard at the beach and ended up tumbling into the water. She said, "I've been mostly raised without worries, so I tend to do things at my own pace. Since childhood, I've been a little shy, so I'll try hard from now on to conquer this." Also, she refused to comment on Japan's 1947 Imperial House law, which limits the succession to male heirs and requires female royals to give up their status upon marrying a commoner. Rather than do that, she expressed gratitude for those who influenced her life. She reaffirmed her commitment to her duties, hoping to support her parents and other imperial family members. What do you think about Princess Aiko? Do you think her gender and looks should stop her from ascending the throne when it's time? Let us know what you think in the comment section below. If you enjoy this video, don't hesitate to like, share, and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss other videos.